Today on the Voyager, we're going to go ahead and make a permanent modification. Right now, I've got a wire in this box here. Okay, this is actually my little MP3 player here with Bluetooth. And then I've got this wire here, which isn't bad. It doesn't take up that much room, but man, it sure would be nice to have this thing completely open. And then this thing here, I'll show you. This is something I put in a while back. This is a USB A and C charger. That way I can actually throw something in here and charge it while it's in this compartment. And when I take this compartment out, I'll kind of show you what I did there. So there's going to be a wire bundle behind this thing. And that's something that you won't have on yours because it's different on my bike. Now what I hate is not taking out these screws. That's not the hardest thing. It's the little nutserts that they have that are made of rubber that expand. If you press on them too hard or something like that, they fall through, and then you got to try to dig them out. So this is not my favorite. So I'm going to go ahead and take out this compartment here, and once again remove this speaker, which is really getting old, so that I can get both hands in here and work on what I'm trying to do. Okay, this is the way it came. Not a whole lot of instructions or nothing, but if you read through, it's pretty simple. You just supposedly... This is from Vulcan Tools. It's like $187. I had a special coupon for $30 off, which was nice, so it wasn't too bad. But I do like the look of the factory radio that the bike came with because it actually fits. And apparently this module from Vulcan Tunes is supposed to actually show you on that display what's playing. And I'm supposed to be able to use all of these functions here, including going back and forth on the track and control the device. Right now, I have this little setup here. This is the one I plug into the wire, and this actually accepts a Bluetooth input. And then this is my MP3 player here that transmits that. So apparently with this new device, I'll be able to change tracks on this along with fast forward and everything else, and again show what's actually playing on this screen here, all from this new module. So I won't even need this anymore. But yeah, I hate buying things for nothing, but it worked for a while. The only problem is you have to worry about charging it, and that's why I had put that little panel in there so I could actually charge things. But like I said, we're going to take this all apart. It's pretty easy. You got these 3 screws here that look like Phillips heads, but they use the Japanese industrial standard type Phillips screwdriver, and it actually penetrates all the way down in there and prevents stripping out. A lot of the guys have taken this portion here off to go ahead and check the fluids and stuff, but use a regular Phillips head and strip these things out of here. Using a Japanese standard, which is actually one of these, just has a deeper type of head on the Phillips screwdriver portion that actually goes deep into the screw, so you're not going to go ahead and round anything out. So again, we'll take these out, take this off, grill comes off, there's some screws on the speaker. If you guys are unsure how to do that, then take a look at my other videos. I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time because I filmed this a few times, but I'll take you through part of it. Again, let's start with these 3 Phillips head screws right here. Okay, so those are out. Again, just take your time. If you push on it too hard, like I said, these little nutserts right here, you're going to push them through, they're going to fall inside the fairing, and then you can try digging them out. Again, mine's a little different. You can see back there, there's a wiring loom right here that I have to worry about, so it's going to take 2 hands. So let me go ahead and pull this out slowly and disconnect the connector I put in, disconnecting power here. Okay, so that's it right there. There's the female end of the electrical connector. Here's the big wiring coming out that I'm going to actually be able to finally get rid of. And this is what my box looks like. So this grommet here, I should be able to insert a blank, completely sealing that off since I won't have any wires poking through. Of course, I'll wait till it's all done and checked out. And this little panel right here, that's how it opens up, and of course it is illuminated too, so there's a USB A and C if I ever need them inside this. And of course when I built this, I just took my time, used any type of grommet that I could, some wiring loom, and an automotive style connector here, installing the pins and everything else. So that way it's nice and easy to take off and put back together. So that's that. Next part, another one of my all-time favorites, is taking this off, and it's not taking the screws out. Again, it's these little nutserts here. They're so easy to push through, and then you have to go digging for them. And it happened to me one time, and it was way up in the front of the fairing. So let me go ahead and get that off. Again, these two screws here, it lifts off this way and then pulls out like here. I'll go ahead and show that to you. Let me go ahead and get an Allen wrench. You take these out again. Be careful not to go ahead and push the nutserts through. Take the screws out. Lift up on this, pull this way. You see the little tab? And that exposes this. And we're going to do the same thing with these 4 screws here. Take our time so that we don't push the rubber nutserts through. Again, they're a pretty great thing that they came up with. The only problem is it's so easy to push them through when you're actually putting the screw back in, because you want to put some downforce on the screw that it takes a bite, but too much, and these things go ahead and pop right through. So let me go ahead and take the speaker out again and take the wires off, and we'll go ahead and I'll show you what's going on. I just didn't like the original speaker because they looked really wimpy. These here have a nice big magnet. They can handle all kinds of power. If I wanted to add an amp, which I probably won't. I'm not really into blaring these things like some guys. What this is mainly for is if I pull over somewhere and I want a little background music, if I'm drinking some water or having a sandwich or something like that. But other than that, I don't really listen to this thing. Even though I do have 4 speakers, which sound great. And again, these are in another video here. But anyway, so let me go ahead and take this out. Got a couple wires to pull off here, then I'll take you guys down into this thing here and show you what's going on. Right, so as you can see, I've got the 2 speaker wires here. There's this little cone here that actually helps to reflect some of the back of the speaker, the sound, and at the same time it prevents water and all this stuff. So this needs to come out too. I just need to go ahead and pull this off like so, and it is nice and tight, which is awesome. Kind of a pain to do with one hand. You can see there's a little tube down there that the wires basically slide through. Just take your time, that way you don't ruin any connectors. There we go. Biggest thing is to remember to put this back in. I buttoned everything up one time and I went, I forgot to put the protective cone back in. So now with a little bit of light in there, you can see what's going on. Alright, so I've got the original connectors that came with the bike here, here, and here. Got a tie wrap, so let me take some of these tie wraps off, a couple of them, so I can go ahead and disconnect, get this wire out of here, and hook up the Bluetooth. And of course, I'm going to try everything from in here with the exception of the speaker, or maybe I might just hook the speaker up and just let it sit in this cavity. And I'm going to check and pair everything up and see how it works. There's the 2 original connectors here. I had this one blocked off. I had the other one plugged into that big old wire that was coming out. And for those of you guys that are wondering where I got the power for this here to go ahead and power that USB AC panel, is actually a auxiliary power supply. But okay, so up in here is a couple of actual auxiliary power that's already routed to a fuse box. Underneath the seat is labeled auxiliary. And that gives you a 12 volt on the ground. That's what I basically put a push pin in. I didn't have to cut anything. I put a connector and a push pin inside there, and that gives me my 12 volt power. Then of course I go ahead and tie wrap it out to make it look nice, just like I'll do with this Bluetooth adapter once I'm done. These things here, that's for other Kawasaki accessories. Just make sure they're facing down. That way if any water gets in here, it won't sit in the connectors. And if you guys need to change out your bulbs and your auxiliary lights, don't fall for the thing about having to take the whole cowling off. All you have to do is take either the speaker or this hole here, which my hand's in, which goes to the compartment, or both to make it easier, and you can get to these bulbs here and change them easier enough. So again, here's the 2 wires that the bike came with. Let me go ahead and get these plugged into the new adapter. They're already full of dielectric grease, which is electrical grease. I had one guy say, don't use dielectric grease tank, you use electrical grease. Well, that's what dielectric grease is. So anyway, so it's in there and it prevents corrosion and all that stuff. So let me plug the Bluetooth module in, just kind of temporarily put this speaker back in, and let me fire it up after I pair it with my Bluetooth device. And now let's see how it works. That's it, it just plugs right in. So if you haven't messed with these things at all, you don't need that 30 pin adapter, none of that stuff. This is supposed to do it all. And that's it, man. You just plug it in. So I'm just going to lay it in here for now. Probably down here. Just for now. And like I said, I'll go ahead and zip tie this all up. When we're all done, make it all look professional. Nothing will rattle. So let me just temporarily just lay this speaker in here. And let me pair it to my Bluetooth device. And let's see how it works. Over here is my phone. I went ahead and went to Bluetooth, and there it is, Vulcan tunes. So I just need to connect that, and I can try something off my phone anyway to see how it works for now. Yeah, I went to the proper input on there, and there you can see it. Vulcan tunes. Right there, and that's where the things are going to basically show up. So let me go ahead and find some music on my phone and see if I can play it through. It should be that easy. So there it is on my phone. It's showing up there, and again, this is actually through Bluetooth. This isn't the regular radio. I'm just doing something for now until I can pair my actual Bluetooth player to this. You know, YouTube likes to get in there and all of a sudden ding your video if you play too much of it and it recognizes a song. But basically that's it. I can basically change from anything that I want, any track, it'll actually come up there. And again, I'll go ahead and get my Bluetooth player paired up so I can actually take you through these. But this is actually pretty darn nice. I like this. So I'm actually going to put the bike back together and then go ahead and mess around. Yeah, I do have this paired. And that's all I can play, otherwise I get bagged by YouTube. So basically what I found is if it's an iPod, which is sort of what that thing is, it comes up right here is iPod, right down there, and I'm able to use the volume, the track forward, back, all that neat stuff. So that's actually pretty cool. And what I like is as long as you get the volume up on your iPod device, and then of course you add this volume to it, it's almost like a double amp at that point, and it actually sounds pretty darn nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead now and put this all back together, and I'll show you guys where I went ahead and tied that up. I'll go ahead and get the bike shut off. Alright, so to the frame of the bike along with some other wire, I've got two black tie wraps holding the green module down, and then a separate kind of whitish tie wrap just holding the wire. That way, if I ever go to cut it out and it's kind of dark and I can't really see that well, at least I'll know what's what. But at least that's now completely out of the way, and it's all tidied up. So, of course, while I was doing that, you can see one of these. Of course, while I was doing that, you can see one of these fell out. Thank goodness I already had this open, and it only fell down into this section right here. And that's this little nutser here. So let's get back at this thing back into place. And you think to yourself, well, these things are pretty tight. They can't fall out, man. They fall out all the time, especially when you're putting it back together. But at least everything is all done up now. I can go ahead and start putting this back together. So let's get the speaker, and again, there's an inner cone that goes in first that the wires get fed through. Okay, that takes care of the speaker. Again, before you put all the grill back on and all that stuff, it's a good thing to go ahead and just double check. Turn the radio on, make sure the speakers are all working in case a wire hasn't popped out. God knows this happened to me before. So now we'll go ahead and work on this bottom portion here, but I am going to make a change to it like I said earlier. Okay, right now I had a grommet in there because I was running that wire through it, but now this whole thing is going to be open. I can actually use it. Let me go ahead and close that little door there. There, the whole door is closed, and you can see back there where that grommet is. So let's go ahead and pull that out. I always keep a whole bunch of stuff laying around. So this is a blank here. I should be able to go ahead and pop this in, and that will go and block that hole. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And it worked out great. So that's all blocked off in there. It's blocked off back here. That's going to give me tons of room in this thing now to go ahead and store stuff. So let me go ahead and pop this back in. So I can't stress enough, guys, if you have anything Japanese, car, motorcycle, just buy yourself a nice set of JIS, that's Japanese Industrial Standard screwdrivers, and you won't have to worry about stripping out screws anymore, because a regular American Phillips doesn't quite work that well. So now I've got plenty of room down in there. I can go ahead and use this bin. I don't have to have a bunch of stuff in the way anymore. And all the Bluetooth stuff is inside the cowling, all tie wrapped out of the way. All I need to do is get rid of some fingerprints and all this, put everything back, and that's it. So it won't take you that long. It takes me longer to go ahead and worry about camera angles and things like that. So Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You know what to do. Go ahead and like, subscribe, hit that bell notification for future content. I'll look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. And once again, thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.